every night and morning this week, I've been attempting the same thing, just repeatedly, sort of not with a lot of success so far. But when in the etheric, I'm consciously, on purpose, attempting to push through into lucidity. So fascinating, really, because I'm not sure where this feeling to even be doing this is arising, but from within there, on a regular basis this week, I've somehow got the feeling to do my technique for coming lucid, to push through just by, more intently looking at my surroundings with the purpose of with the purpose of coming lucid. Letting in the realization that this is a secondary location. It's not my physical location. My physical location is there in the bed, whatever. And I seem to be, doing various techniques for this. Both from the just state of lying there in the bed, looking at the blackness in front of my eyes, from doing it, all the way inside. An event where I happened to be in the etheric. And not really wholly successful with this yet, partially successful. Right now I'm just sort of finding it interesting that I have this new bent on even doing this. And like from while I'm in there, it's not something that I think I consciously decided to do, from my physical location. I just seem to, from within there, every night, every morning, start to do it intentionally. That's just fascinating. I'm not sure why, but I'm finding it much more challenging in the etheric to do this rather than the astral. In the astral, it takes just seconds. If I start to look at my location while I'm in the astral, immediately I come lucid. In the etheric, it's not immediately. There's more of a push. There's more of a thickness to get through, I'll say, than while in the astral. And of course, the locations can be actual locations from your physical reality. That makes it challenging. Or I may be with people I actually know in physical reality, which makes it more challenging to discern from my physical reality. But 3 of them were pretty interesting. I'll just go into briefly what those were, and I think I'll keep this one short again. I keep saying that, but heck, they still come out about 12 minutes long. The first one I have projected to the etheric location of my friend Eric, and I'm float lifting him and moving him somewhere. I don't know where. I just know that I'm feeling incredibly sleepy and incredibly heavy, and I caught this one in the midst of pushing through, and so it's only just this small period here that I have vivid awareness of. I was just feeling too sleepy. There was it was too seductive, and I dropped him. Float dropped him. He didn't get hurt. And, sort of just went down right there myself, right there on him, and just was trying to resist, falling asleep. And, intentionally, and this is fascinating, intentionally bringing thoughts into my mind that would spur me into action, like bringing in the idea of his wife, Leslie, and, not wanting to be caught here like this. or something like this, that would get me up and moving, and moving him to wherever I was moving him to. I don't have the details on either side of that, but I do feel that it involves our friends who are here. Just that feeling is very prevalent these whole past couple weeks. In the second location, now this is another sighting and contact experience. I'm walking with a few other people, maybe 3 or 4 other people, through a rather foresty area. It was a hill. We were going up a hill. I have awareness that this was on the outskirts of a town. And we're just sort of going up this mountain, and as we're walking, I do it. I consciously attempt to push through into lucidity here. And so for this duration right in here, I also, although I don't come fully lucid, have very vivid awareness of this. And we reach this landing, and at the top of the landing there's a bench that just overlooks this wide open area, wide open sky, and looking up into this view, I begin to have a sighting. Ships begin to come through, which at first just look like points of light and then open out into like the outline. It was like I was seeing the outline of the ship, and it wasn't fully covered in, so it was translucent or transparent. I don't know what the appropriate term is there. And I'm just seeing the outlines of them, and in seeing the outlines of them, I can feel myself get anxious. I realize I'm actually having another sighting, and the next thing I know, I'm on one of the crafts, and I'm either on various of them or just various areas within the same craft. The first area I'm at is like a personal quarters type area. The people here appear very human, except for there's a feeling of Venus, something like that, and all of them are women. And I'm just here, for a brief time, and it's just the typical chit-chat type talk that you would hear, in a quarters type area of some of the people getting off duty, coming into their personal quarters. And the next thing I know, I'm in a darkened room, and there is a less human type being here, if not many of them. I can feel them. I have that typical feeling that I get in my solar plexus when I come in the vicinity of our neighbors. And I don't have a real clear, detailed view of this one, but one of them came over and sat near me, not next to me, but near me, to let me acclimate to his presence. And during this part of it, I just have the knowing that these beings are very tall, somewhere, I'm going to say, between 7 and 9 feet, and their skin, it's like it's spray painted a shimmery color. It's not spray painted, but it's like that, sort of like Data on Star Trek. Not exactly, but that kind of an idea. And these are more evolved beings than us. I'm not sure exactly how much more evolved, but I would say definitely like either higher 4th or 5th dimensional, something like that. And So this is a guide of sorts, and I'm here to ask questions and get guidance. And the only part of this guidance that I remember, the majority of our conversation is being blocked from me at the moment. But the part of it that wasn't was some questions that I had asked about my dog Charlie Brown. You know, his fur has been really dry, and I was asking if I was feeding him appropriately, and if there was anything else I could do, you know, stuff along this line. The next one happened this morning, and I was doing a deliberate practice. So I didn't get up out of bed at my normal time and just laid there for like 4 or 5 more hours after it was time to get up, you know, watching all of this happen. And, you know, the highlight of what happened this morning, I was at some sort of etheric version of one of my brother's houses, and his whole family was present, and there were, you know, things that were happening. Again, I'm feeling the very sleepy, and in the projection, I'm actually, you know, lying down trying to sleep. But there's points where the family gets me up and is interacting with me, and that again, I'm consciously attempting to push through into lucidity. You know, just intently looking at my surroundings, letting in the notion that this is not my actual physical location, and just fascinating. Didn't do it. I couldn't believe I didn't do it. I did get the feeling and the whole thing, but no, I didn't push through all the way into the full event. So I'm not going to go on much more about that. This is just sort of a notation for myself that I'm putting here, that this has been happening, and that I do hope it continues, and that I begin to see more progress, if you will, along the line of fully pushing through into lucidity while in the etheric. And also note that this immediately started happening after, I mean, the intent that I did have, that I have been putting through this week, has been to know who I am beyond who I think I am, beyond the person and personality, Casey. And I think that this is probably very much related to why I'm spending a lot of time in the etheric, and also why I'm having these sightings and contact experiences. So as it plays out, I will continue to make the logs.